So here the multifunction means the structure element has the structure functionality, let's say the mechanical property, and it should also have the self-powering functionality. We say it like energy harvesting abilities, as well as the self-sensing functionality. We say like some sensing capabilities. So to achieve this, the concept of triboelectric nanogenerator embedded structure element, we call it 10SE. The concept is proposed and developed. So 10SE will be the intersection of those three areas and integrate the structural elements to be self-powering and self-sensing. So let's start with the triboelectric nanogenerator 10. So think about this. Look at the images shown here. When you grab your hair with the balloon, your hair will become like the image on the left side. And think about the situation during the dry winter, and your hand is dry, and you are trying to open the door handle, and which is metal. Sometimes you will be shocked by the electricity between this. So the reason behind this phenomenon is the triboelectric. So triboelectric nanogenerator is a system that makes use of this triboelectricity to conduct energy harvesting, which can transfer surrounding environmental mechanical simulations into electricity in an efficient way. This could be an ideal candidate for sustainable power supply of some electrical devices. So typically, 10 has 4 types of theoretical working modes as shown here. And in my current study, we utilize the contact and separate model shown in this figure, which consists of 3 layers. The distance xt between the 2 layers can be varied under the external mechanical force. The inner surface of the 2 layers will have opposite static charges with equal density when they are in contact with each other under the force. And the a potential drop will between the 2 electrodes will be introduced when they separate from each other with increasing xt. So the amount of the transfer charge between the 2 electrodes were driven by the induced potential. Then the charges will be conveyed to the connected circuits to provide the power. So we investigated a major application area for the proposed 10SE concept by creating the proof of concept reinforcement rebar prototypes. The reason behind this choice is the reinforcement rebar are currently used in nearly all the large-scale concrete structures. The figure shows the layered structure for the proposed multifunctional FRP rebar. We call it 10 rebar, according to the principle of the 10 system. So as you see here, the 10 rebar consists of 5 layers. Here, layer 1 and layer 2 are bonded together. We call it core. So it is it needs to be note that layer 1 is similar to the regular FRP rebars, and layer 2 is a conductive layer which forms the one side of the triboelectric nanogenerator system. And layer 3 to layer 5 are bonded together. We call it cover. Those 3 layers forms the other side of the 10 system. So to clarify this, the working mechanism of the proposed rebar are shown here. As so, the left side shows the the side view of the rebar, and the right side shows the top view of the rebar. So as shown here, in the stage 1, the cover and the core are contacted, which is the initial state for the rebar when there is no external loading. And when the tensile loading is applied, due to the difference of the Poisson's ratio of core and cover, the cover will start separating from the core, as shown in the stage 2 and 3. So as you can see, the sign of the charges are switched during the stage 2 and 3. That is because of the contact and separate motion caused the potential drop. And then during the releasing, the cover is gradually contact the core again. And the sign of the charges are changed again, as shown in the stage 4 to stage 1. So as a result, by applying the cyclical tensor loading, the rebar will continuously generate the voltage because of the contact and separate, repeat contact and separate motion between the core and cover. And the amplitude of the voltage is supposed to be related to the loading amplitude and frequency. So to evaluate the feasibility of the proposed rebar, samples in different scales are manufactured by using 3D printing. So here, I need to mention that why we use 3D printing. That is because by using 3D printing manufacturing, the sample is ready to use right after the printing. So there's no post-processing needed to make the rebar work. So it will be ready after the print, which is very easy for use. So tensor tests are conducted according to the testing standards. As shown on the left, the sample with a 16 millimeter diameter and 320 millimeter length is tested with the testing resource machine. 2 levels of the strain loading are applied, which are 1% strain and 2% strain. Then the loading frequency is 0.5 Hertz. So on the right side shows the result for the 1% strain loading. As you can see on the top figure, this is the experimental generated voltage, which is in black, with its according tensor loading. And on the bottom figure is the experimental generated voltage, which is red, and is compared with the calculated theoretical voltage, which is in black. And the purple is the applied tensor displacement to the rebar. So here is the result for the 2% strain loading scenario. As we can see, the trend is similar as a 1% strain loading, but it's easy to figure out that the voltage generated under the 2% strain loading scenario is much larger than the 1% strain loading scenario. So which confirms the theory we mentioned in previous slides. The generated voltage is related to the external loading and frequency. So to further evaluate the damage detection performance of the proposed 10 rebar in the concrete, a series of 3-point bending tests were conducted at 2 different scales. So here shows the pouring process. So samples in two scales are tested. So on the top row is the small scale. The embedded rebar is 160 millimeter length and in 20 millimeter diameter. And on the bottom row is a large scale. The embedded rebar is 580 millimeter length and in 25 millimeter diameter. So it is well known that the operation frequency of most civil infrastructure system is low, which is lower than 10 Hertz, which denoting a quasi-static condition. In order to assess the efficiency of the 10 rebar in detecting slow and quasi-static changes in structure, displacement control 3-point bending tests were conducted on both beams with small cyclical loading frequency, which is 0.5 Hertz. So referring to the results, the 10 rebar are capable of harvesting energy from the low frequency mechanical excitation. A sharp increase was observed in the generated voltage when crack occurred at the bottom of the beam, and the continuous loading after crack initiation, the rebar was bearing the cyclic tensile loading. In this phase, the voltage signal becomes periodical and stable, as shown in the figure. So here is a sharp change when the crack initiation, and after that, the voltage becomes periodical and stable. So the sharp increase in the voltage can be considered as a reliable damage initiation alarm, and thereafter the progression of the damage can be continuously monitored by tracking the changes of 10 rebar voltage amplitude with respect to the baseline in the post-damage period. So currently, we are developing other multifunctional structure elements based on the similar concepts. Here is an example to show the multifunctional beam systems we have developed, which is capable to detect different levels of damages in the beam. In the future, we will try to develop various 10 modes that can be introduced to design structural elements with different sensing modalities. So for the future direction, the proposed system offers unique functionalities in distributed sensing, which has been a major challenge for mega-size projects. The experimental and theoretical results confirm the efficiency of the 10SE concept in detecting damage and harvesting energy from the mechanical excitations. So in the future, we are going to develop a 10 sensing scheme. Oh, the light just turned off. Sorry. So in the future, we are going to develop a 10 sensing scheme that can create multifunctional digital surface element capable of performing multiple functions. So the 10 scheme can serve as a living structure which can respond to its environment and self-monitoring its condition, like shown here. This is our vision for the future developed 10 sensing scheme. So the 10 sensing scheme can serve as living structure. It could be potentially used for generating energy required for built-in smart signaging technologies, navigational beacons, and other embedded infrastructure sensors. Or it can be used for vehicle-to-infrastructure communication. And it also can be used it also can enable a proxy weight in motion system to assess the weight of the vehicle traveling over the pavement. So in conclusion, this concept could have a wide variety use in the future. And they should be the future trends, like to develop the truly integrated structural health monitoring systems. So I think that's all about my today's talk. And if you are interested in our research, we have published this research in the third reference. And if you're interested, you can refer to the reference, or you can contact me, email me to discuss the research interest. And thank you. And now I can take the questions. I think you can either type the question in the chat, or you can just unmute and talk.
Any questions from the participants? Yeah, if no questions. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
For the wonderful talk on making use of triboelectric energy for structural elements. It's actually a wonderful thought, and it's a new idea as well. All the best for your future work, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Ma'am, if anybody is having any participants is having any questions, they can raise their questions. Maina madam?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can ask the participants if anybody is having any
Yeah,
queries.
I've announced. I announced.
Okay.
Nobody
Okay.
came up.
So, madam, the next speaker has joined.
I'll check, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, Maina madam, I called that next speaker. She will join another 2 to 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Fine.
We request the participants to please wait a minute. The speaker will join soon.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello, Clarissa.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Dr. Parag.
Hello. Thank you very
Yeah, we
much.
see you. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Maina madam, please go ahead. Wait a minute, madam. We will introduce, then we can start. I will make you as co-host, then you can able to share the PPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maina madam, please go ahead.
Hello, Miss Clarissa Loureiro. Miss Clarissa Loureiro is a researcher, University of Campinas, Unicamp from SP, Brazil. She holds a degree in electrical engineering from the Federal University of Campina Grande and the INSA, France in 2006. MSc in electrical engineering and computing in the area of biomedical engineering by Unicamp, Brazil. Her PhD is in electrical engineering at Unicamp and George Mason University in Washington, D.C., USA. Clarissa was chair for the R9 region of Latin America and the Caribbean in 2015-16 of the IEEE Women in Engineering. Her areas of research involve neurosciences, electrical engineering applied to new diagnosis and therapies of diseases such as cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, among others. Already worked with robotics, ionizing radiations, and electromagnetism. She has developed projects in the areas of technology for public school education in Brazil and Latin America. She is a part of the development team of the maturity model of sustainable smart cities project of the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation of Brazil. Clarissa has given more than 100 lectures in Brazil and the world, encouraging the empowerment of women in scientific and technological areas, forming IEEE Women in Engineering groups. She participates in NGOs related to early childhood education and supporting women in the labor market. We are glad to have you here, ma'am. Over to you, Ms. Clarissa.
Thank you very much for the presentation, for the introducing me. Can you see my screen?
No, madam.
No? Okay. Can you see?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Now
it's okay.
okay, sir.
Okay. So the work I'm going to present today, it's about magnetic nanoparticles in neuronal cells, a theranostic application. So I'm a researcher at Campinas, Unicamp, University of Campinas. And also, I really would like to thank the organizing committee for, I'm sorry? Can you hear me? Is it okay to continue?
Yeah, please go ahead, madam. Please go ahead.
Okay. So I really would like to thank the organizing committee for having a woman in this event. And it is very important to say that it's having diversity is very important to every congress, every event and conference. Since diversity means more information, different kinds of points of views, and also can make we can have new kinds of solution to the world. So technology is a tool for our quality of life. It's very important to remember that technology is a tool. It's not the main focus that we should work on when we are doing research and developing new technology. We should always have in mind that we are developing technology to get better quality of life to our citizens of the world. So it's very important to give opportunity to girls and women to show new kinds of solution. Every woman, every girl has new points of views that maybe they have new kinds of solution that no other men could think about, okay? So I could not start this presentation without having to say that diversity is very important, and we need it right now to save the world and save many different kinds of diseases. So I also should tell all of you that there is the Women Engineering Group in IEEE, which is very important for the girls, and also men are also invited to be part of. So the mission is to motivate girls and continue to their career in technology areas, encouraging girls into STEAM areas, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics areas, inspiring girls around the world to their academic interest of a career in engineering. Okay. Also, I work for the Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation in Brazil, and we are developing a mature model for smart cities. But it's very important to say that we only have a smart and sustainable world if we have in mind that we have 17 Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations, and it's very important to have in mind that when we develop technology, we should remember all of these 17 objectives to the world, okay? So we would not have a smart world or sustainable world or no future if we don't think about all of these subjects, all of these themes, and all of these objectives of the Sustainable Development Goals, okay? And also remember the number 5 is gender equality, okay? So this is very important. Also in Brazil, we also are very concerned about the number 2, zero hunger, and number 1, no poverty, okay? So for this, we should have also quality of education for all of our citizens, boys and girls, men and women. So to start talking about one of my area of the research is my research in this area is about magnetic nanoparticles in neuronal cells, theranostics applications, thinking about diagnosis and also therapy for neuronal diseases. Okay, so this work is an experimental method to observe and analyze the behavior of neuronal cells interacting with magnetic nanoparticles. So in recent years, enormous efforts have been made to translate nanotechnology innovations into medical practice. In this event, we have many different applications of nanotechnologies, but this one is to have applications in the medical areas, okay? So our main focuses were diagnosis and therapy with recent emphasis on multimodal imaging. That means what we call also the theranostics. And for the objectives, we have this work aims to investigate, monitor, and control magnetic nanoparticles inside the neuronal cells and its toxicity. Right, with the help of static magnetic fields. The first step to have particles into medical practice is also to investigate whether it's toxic to the humans or not, or having to know the concentrations that we would be allowed to have in our brains, for example. So we did some researches and experimental experiments in laboratory with cells in vitro before having it in animals. So this research aims to prove that reduced graphene oxide magnetic nanoparticles can be used to tumor therapies. So our particles are from the graphene oxide nanoparticles. And the magnetic nanoparticles can contribute in the near future for recovery from neurodegenerative diseases, injured neurons, and to avoid amputation when you have an accident, for example, in motorcycle or car accidents. So if you have the nanoparticles inside the cells and having also static magnetic field growing towards the direction that you want them to go, it would be faster to have the cells in contact with the other cells. So it wouldn't be necessary to ampute some of the members of the body, okay? So the magnetic nanoparticles can be used also as a platform for theranostics applications, which means are used for therapy and diagnostics, as I said before. And then magnetic nanoparticles, which are characterized by high surface to volume ratios, are not only excellent scaffolds for loading targeting moieties in imaging tags and drugs, but themselves can be used to reduce therapeutics effects, induce therapeutics making them the platform of choice. So for the methods, the ability to identify differential patterns of cells responses and clinical outcomes has been limited among population subgroups. It was not found experiments in the literature that we have found with more than 24 hours. And in this research, the observation time records of the interaction of neuronal cells and magnetic nanoparticles were recorded in 96 hours, which is a very substantial data. And this work outlines the synthesis, toxicology, and functionalization of the magnetic nanoparticles, which interact with a cell line derived from the pheochromocytoma of rat adrenal medulla that has an embryonic origin from the crest PC12 cells that are very known in the literature. So the methodology of our work consists in a simple and not expensive and new approach to demonstrate how the particles can be exploited to manipulate the PC12 cells and neuronal cells under external magnetic forces for directing their orientation growth. So we also did, before the experiment, some simulation at console software. Experiments were carried out in 2 centimeters Petri dishes placed by the side of a magnet, which provided a static magnetic field of 26 Gauss in the radial direction. In this setup, cells were attached to the particles and exposed to the magnetic force, which is proportional to the magnetic field gradient of the neodymium magnet to simulate the force inside the human body. So several experiments were made. They all were made in United States, in George Mason University. The cells with magnetic nanoparticles and static magnetic fields and control groups were observed from the day 1 to the day 11 during 264 hours. The media was changed every 72 hours. And this is a very new approach because from the literature, we only have, as I said before, 24 hours of observation. So the goal of all these experiments is to observe the behavior of the cells in 3 different aspects. Toxicology is the first one, self-growth, and direction to the self-growth towards the magnetic fields. So, which means we would like to control the growth of the magnetic fields. So several experiments were made and the cells with the fields and the control group was observed, as I said before. So we have here the layout. You have in the figure, the left side is the representation of the Petri dish and the cells in red. And they are growing towards the static magnetic field applied. Okay, so we did a simulation in console software of the Petri dish and the static magnetic field to see how it would work. And in the experiment, it did work very well as we wanted them to go. So the data acquisition system was developed in this work to measure the static magnetic field, which the cells were exposed to. And also an algorithm was developed using MATLAB. And more detailed information about the system is in one of my papers that I can send to you if you have a curiosity to know everything about the experiments and the research, because I think we wouldn't have too much time here to present all the details of the materials. So I wanted to be objective to say some of the methods and the results So all the details, if you want to, you can be in contact with me, and I'll be glad to share with you more information about the details of the materials, methods, and if you want to reproduce our experiments. Okay, so the figure represents as the direction that the cells grow. If you want to avoid, for example, the amputation, and if you want the cells to grow in the right radial direction. So in the present work, it was achieved a simple demonstration of how magnetic nanoparticles can be exploited to manipulate neuronal cells under external magnetic forces for directing their orientation growth. So the cell's growth was observed from different dishes with different concentrations of magnetic particles and different intensities of magnetic field that could grow towards the magnetic force in radial outward direction, the direction of the magnetic force. So what was observed in the dishes with the particles and under the magnetic field was a clearly tendency of the cells to grow towards the direction of the magnetic field. And about the toxicology, it was possible to observe that the aspects of the cells with magnetical nanoparticles were a little darker than the ones with the media without the particles. So the color of the cells were a little darker than the control group, but also they were spread, and they didn't form so many big clusters, meaning they reproduced well in a homogeneous way, even though they got agglomerated in certain regions of the petri dish. So the cells were still reproduced in the media, and they survived for the same period of time as the control group, depending only on the concentrations of magnetic nanoparticles, which we had a lot of concentrations. And also we had some of the concentrations that would also kill the cells if the objective was to kill, for example, a tumor cells. We got exactly the concentration that would kill the cells too. One could say that they were growing in a very healthy way based on the observation and analysis of the cells. And it's important to say that really depends on the concentration of the nanoparticles in the cells. From the optical microscope and the pictures that were taken to control how well the cells were behaving. Some analyses of the cells were made based on the previous researches. Additionally, during the assays, it was observed that the magnetic nanoparticles used in this work are biocompatible. Thus, based on this fact, it is possible to go further with the experiments. So from these main reasons, one can conclude that the magnetic nanoparticles are not toxic to the cells in some of the concentrations, although the magnetic nanoparticles, depending on the concentration, can influence the behavior of the cells. Okay, so we had a lot of different kinds of applications to the nanoparticles with neuronal cells. And here I just presented one of them, that was the controlling the direction of the growth of the cells in let's say more rapid way, a faster way. So you can control the growth of the cells in direction towards the magnetic field. Let's say when you have some accident and you want the cells to grow towards the part that was that got out of the body. So to get them together again, you need the cells to grow in a faster way so you can avoid amputation, for example. But also we worked also in avoiding and having less tumor cells and in a concentration with concentrations of magnetic nanoparticles that could kill the tumor cells. And also in future, if you have any questions about our work, I'll be glad to answer. So the exposition of the cells to the static magnetic field of the experiment does not cause any damage to the cells depending on the concentration. And it was verified that the magnetic field of the static magnetic field from the neodymium magnets are not toxic to the cells. Because we also had a control group without magnetic nanoparticles and only with static magnetic field too. And the results of the toxicology research in this project are very important because it can help to determine which are the safe and efficient doses of magnetic nanoparticles that would simulate the directional growth of the cells in vitro and in the human body in the future. So the concentrations of the nanoparticles varied between 0.01 microgram to millimeter to 0.9 milligram to millimeter concentrations. And also the concentrations above 0.9 are toxic to the cells and it can kill the cells approximately in 24 hours with such high concentrations of the particles in the media. Hence, this work brings this new information about the magnetic nanoparticles and its concentrations in the neuronal cells and the interaction with certain kinds of neuronal cells from a simple method that so far was not found from our records in the literature. So it can be a good contribution to the data research in the neuroscience field. Okay, so thank you. I'll be glad to answer the questions if you have some. And I'm available to also send you more information in one of my papers too. Thank you.
Any questions from the audience?
Any questions from the audience? You please raise the questions.
If no questions, thank you for that wonderful session, ma'am. Wonderful work you're doing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for the inviting. And thank you very
Deepak,
much.
you make it full screen. Deepak, make it full screen.
Full screen?
Not you, madam. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Maina, madam.
Sir.
So we have next speaker is already joined.
Okay, sir. We'll start.
Gabriella Casalino.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can welcome the. Good evening, madam. Gabriella, madam.
Yes, I'm here. Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon to you.
Thank Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, Maina madam, please go ahead.
Okay.
We will
sir.
wait a minute, madam. We will start the session.
Dr. Cafarena is the Associate Professor, Department of Information Technologies, University CEU, San Pablo, Spain. Dr. Gabrielle Casalino works as an Associate Professor in the Department of Information Technologies. She holds an Master's in Engineering and Telecommunication Engineering from University of Malaga, Spain, and a PhD degree from Technical University of Madrid. Since 2013, she is invited professor at Institut National Sciences in France. She is senior IEEE member and served.
It's not me, but anyway, thanks.
Yes, sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
Don't worry, it's okay.
yeah. Sorry, we have two Gabriels in the keynote addresses. So sorry. Dr. Gabrielle Casalino is currently assistant professor at the Scilab Laboratory of the Department of Informatics, University of Bari, working on machine learning techniques applied to web economy domain. Her research interests span in the field of data analytics. Her works cover different domains such as text mining, hyperspectral imaging, e-health, bioinformatics, anomaly detection, educational data mining. She's currently working on stream data mining algorithms. Gabriella Casalino has got the PhD in computer science at the doctoral school in computer science of the Department of Informatics at University of Bari, Moro. She defended the thesis non-negative factorization methods for extracting semantically relevant features in intelligent data analysis. She was awarded by the Italian Ministry of Education, University and Research with a grant covering the 3-year period of a PhD. In 2008, she got a BSc in computer science from the University of Bari, and in 2011, she got an MSc in computer science from the same university. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Can I start? Can I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am, you can share your screen.
Okay. So thanks for having introduced me. Okay, you should see my screen. And now my presentation. Just a second. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, madam, it's visible.
Okay. So good afternoon to everybody. As she already said, I'm Gabriella Casalino, and I'm an assistant professor at University of Bari in Italy. My position has been funded by Italian Ministry of Education through the European Project Attraction and International Mobility. That's why you can see here so many icons. And in this talk, we discuss how non-negative matrix factorization could be a useful tool to derive knowledge hidden in students' questionnaire. This is a joint work between the University of Bari, where I belong to, University of Foggia, and the Institute for Educational Technology of the National Research Council of Italy. But first of all, I want to thank the organizer, and particularly Dr. Parameshachari. I hope my pronunciation is correct, for having invited me to this talk. So let's begin. A brief introduction about where I am. Bari is the second biggest town in the south of Italy. We are here. It's close to Naples, that is much more famous. We are in the Apulia region, that is the hill of the boot. And University of Bari has an old history that starts in 1925, whilst the computer science department is more recent. I work in the computational intelligence laboratory, where we focus on naturally inspired approaches such as fuzzy logic, neural network, and evolutionary algorithms. and you can find more information here in our on our website. And here you can see our group. Here there is Professor Giovanna Castellano. She's the head of our group, our PhD students, and some of the professors in our groups. So beyond pure research on themes related to fuzzy logic and explainability, our research focuses mainly on 5 domains: computational intelligence for digital health, bioinformatics, drone vision, understanding visual art, and stream data mining applied to different problems. Actually, the topic I will talk about today, it will be about educational data mining, so it's a 6th topic. So, in the last few years, there has been a growing interest in the automatic analysis of educational data to enhance the learning experience. When we talk about educational data, we are referring to a wide typology of data, such as logs coming from virtual learning environments, demographic information, student attendance to courses, students' answers to questionnaire, video capturing the emotions or the engagement, and so on. So data represents a digital footprint for each student and form a big and valuable source of information about the student's learning and behavior, which could be used to optimize the learning process and, in general, the whole environment. However, since these data are very big, manual analysis are not suitable, and automatic techniques are needed to manage and extract useful information from them. Learning analytics are widely used to improve students' performance. Data collected from student assessment are helpful to predict their success, and questionnaires are extensively adopted to assess students' knowledge. Several mathematical models studying the correlation between students' hidden skills and their performance to questionnaire items have been introduced, have been discussed in literature, but particularly among them, non-negative matrix factorization has been proven to be effective in automatically extract hidden skill, a time-consuming activity that is usually tackled manually, and so it's prone to subjective interpretation. In this talk, we present an intelligent data analysis approach based upon non-negative matrix factorization, and data are collected from a competition, namely Math Challenge, performed by University of Foggia. And the last edition of this competition was held online due to COVID pandemic. So, a brief introduction about the learning analytics. Here, Chatty et al. Gave a definition of learning analytics as a measurements, collection, analysis, and reporting of data about learners and their context for purposes of understanding and optimizing learning and the environments in which it occurs. He also gives a reference model for learning analytics that is based on 4 dimensions. We have what kind of data does the system gather, manage, and use for the analysis? How does the system perform the analysis of the collected data? Why does the system analyze the collected data? And finally, who is the target of the analysis? These 4 dimensions are used to identify challenges and research opportunities. In this work, student answers to questionnaires are the object of the analysis, so the what. So the what, and machine learning, and particularly non-negative matrix factorization together with visualization techniques are the how, have been used for exploratory data analysis, so why. And finally, different stakeholders who can take advantage from these analysis, such as teachers and tutors are interested in understanding the learning process behind students' reasoning when dealing with an activity. Institutions are interested in limiting their retention and dropout. and students can use the feedback to improve their knowledge. So, different mathematical methods study the relationship between the answers to questionnaire and hidden latent concepts leading at those results. In the educational domain, the aim of such methods is to provide a mathematical model to predict and evaluate students' ability that are measured through a questionnaire. The main idea behind this theory is that latent abilities underlie both the student performances and the test item. The term ability embeds different cognitive student skills that are strictly related to the topic under evaluation. For example, solving a mathematical problem requires different skill compared to text understanding. So, student performance on a test item can be predicted or explained by a set of latent skills, and the mathematical model can be used to represent the relationship between student performances on questionnaire item and latent skills underlying items, that is, the skills that are required to successfully perform the task related to the item. Of course, the more the students possess a given skill, the highest is the probability of a correct response to an item that requires such a skill. Understanding student skills or the lack of such can be used as feedback for supporting students in identification of their learning needs, to measure teaching effectiveness and discover difficult topics. However, latent skills, as I said before, are difficult to be manually extracted since they are topic specific and so they require a domain expert analysis. In this table, I show a very well-known problem made by Tatsuoka. It's about these 20 mathematical problems, and he was the expert, and he assigned the skills that you can see here for each item. And for example, for the first time item requires the skill A4, A6, and A7 that are explained here. So, for example, find a common denominator, etc. So, when we have a problem, we need an expert to depict which are the skills that are required for each item, and this is very time consuming. So we are proposing an automatic method for automatically extract this mapping, the mapping between the skills and the items. So, non-negative matrix factorization. I don't want to describe the method in depth. It is a mathematical method that is able to describe the original data matrix as a sum of parts, being them interpretable. And in the educational domain, the hidden factors that automatically emerge from the computation are the hidden skills that the item requires to be correctly answered, and that are used by the students to answer to the questions. NMF are highly interpretable since hidden skills are described in the same feature space of the original data. And so these enable an intelligent analysis of the results from the domain expert. However, differently from other techniques that model the learning behavior from a single student during the time, NMF give an idea of the of a static idea, a static image of the learning process, of the student learning process. So in our case, the data matrix is called score matrix, and it contains the students' results to item questionnaire. It is decomposed in two matrices called basis matrix and encoding matrix. And the first matrix, this one, matches the hidden items with the questionnaire with the hidden skills. On the other side, the encoding matrix matches the hidden skills with the students. So we are able to describe both students and items in terms of hidden skills. We will see that to make these skills more interpretable, a priori information on the items has been injected in the data analysis process. Moreover, since the final user of this analysis are not technicians, we have used visual analytics to make NMF results more interpretable and easy to understand. So, Math Challenge is one of the university guidance activities that the Department of Economics, Management and Territory at the University of Foggia, close to Bari, carries out every year for supporting high school students in choosing the most suitable university course. The primary aim of such competition is to provide a bridge between high school and university. It represents an important step in the direction of finding and selecting motivated and incoming students. The competition consists of several questions in the main area of mathematics. That is the much difficult one. And so, as I said, due to the COVID pandemic, the last edition was moved online, and Google Forms were used to simultaneously deliver the same questionnaire to all the students. In this talk, students' answers to the Math Challenge competition have been analyzed through NMF, and results have been explained in terms of a priori knowledge on the item topics and the mathematical assessment measure I will show you now. So particularly, we have analyzed more than 500 students, and they answer to 20 questions. And we have assigned a subject to each question. You can see here all the subjects. And we also assigned values from the three main mathematical assessment measures, namely PISA, Invalsi, and TIMSS. They specify the activities that are involved in solving a task, such as knowledge about the task, problem-solving capability, arguing, and so on. So we have combined the output of NMF with this a priori knowledge given by the domain expert. So it's almost semi-supervised. It is an automatic method, but it has been combined with the domain expertise. And so the goal is to obtain results that are more easy to understand. So the experiments aim to analyze questionnaire data from Math Challenge to identify hidden factors from the students that students use for answering questions, and moreover, a priori information regarding the subject in the questions and the abilities required by each question according to the classification, PISA, Invalsi, and TIMSS, has been used to better describe the knowledge hidden in the factors. I will show you some results to better understand. So, graphical representation have been used for supporting data analysis by giving immediate insight to discover patterns. Particularly, stacked bar plots represent questions and students in terms of proportion of hidden skills in both the basis matrix W and the encoding matrix H. A color schema maps the hidden skill, and in particular, we use, for example, blue for the first hidden factor, orange for the second one, green for the third one, and red for the fourth one. And this figure illustrates the percentage of required skill for each of the 20 questions that you can see here on the horizontal axis. Particularly, we can observe that, for example, the 8th question and the 20th one, they only require the third hidden factor. That's why they are colored by the green, just by the green color. Differently, question number 9, 10, 12, and 13, they mostly require the second hidden skill, that is the orange one. Similar analysis can be conducted on the other question to better understand the skill that students use for answering to this question. What should we do with these results? These results could be useful to the teacher, for example, to assess the effectiveness of their question. Indeed, they can verify whether the skills that were supposed to be used to correctly answer the question have been effectively used. So they could eventually use this feedback for a better design of this question. Now let's move on the encoding matrix. So the second one, the second factorized matrix. So since the number of the students was too high, they were 400 students, we focus on the first 50 students ranked by total score and the last 50. As previously discussed, each subject is described in terms of the possessed skill used to answer the 20 questions in the questionnaire. And some regularity among the best students can be observed. Indeed, we can see that they have comparable percentage of the 4 hidden skills. Different patterns have been identified while moving the analysis through the student ranks, and indeed, high differences are observed from one student to another, and here in the last 50 students. And particularly, it's interesting that the fourth hidden skill, the red one, is the most represented one. So we should investigate why we obtain these results. So such patterns could be used to identify a group of students with similarities, and building upon such information to organize support lessons on specific topics that emerge from that analysis. About the topics, we can interpret them, we can understand which are the main subjects that compose each topic. Indeed, differently from other dimensionality reduction techniques that cannot explain the hidden factors such as PCA, SVD, latent semantic analysis, etc. The basis vector in W are in the same feature space as the original data, and so they can be interpreted in that space. The analysis of the NMF outcome leaves room for describing each skill based on the main topics addressing the challenge. The a priori knowledge on the question given by the domain expert has been combined with this part-based representation of the results. So in this figure, we can see the 4 hidden factors, the first one, second one, third one, and the last one, and the percentages of subjects and abilities used to describe them. In this way, we can explain the meaning of each factor in terms of the teacher's knowledge, that is the one who will interpret the results. So here, the first 3 subjects describing each hidden skill factors, so each question, have been depicted by pie graph. And so just to better understand here, we can see that the first hidden skill is mainly described by N, that is numbers, so talk about numbers, LP, that is propositional logic, and log, that is logarithm. Contrariwise, the second hidden factor mainly talk about D, that is linear algebra, logarithms, and numerical logic, and so on. Let's focus on the first and the second hidden factor that we can see are represented by the same subjects, but we can see that they show some differences. So, by referring to PISA, Invalsi, and TIMSS classification, we are able to infer the abilities that are required to correctly answer to the questions needed for a specific skill. Also, in this case, we can observe that the 4 hidden skills requires different abilities. Yellow color refers to problem-solving abilities, and whilst the green colors refers to topic comprehension. I think the yellow one is topic comprehension, and the green one is the problem solving activity, and we can see how to use all these information I've described you until now. Just for an example, here we have question 19 here, that looking at the basis matrix is mostly described by the 4 hidden factor, that is the red one, but we can interpret what it means. So we go to the pie plots, and we have the description of this factor in terms of subjects and activities, and we can see that the factor is mostly about propositional and numerical logic and analysis, and requires problem-solving capabilities together with knowledge problem. And indeed, this is confirmed if we look at the original question that actually was about solving a logical problem. So it requires all these abilities and knowledge about these topics. So to conclude, in this work, a student answers to an online questionnaire on mathematical problem has been intelligently analyzed via NMF technique. In particular, data coming from Math Challenge, a yearly contest organized by the University of Foggia, have been used. Visualization techniques have shown to be useful for making NMF results more interpretable and easy to understand. Final results highlight common skills among the best students, and they describe questions based on the main topics. These results are useful feedback for both students and teachers. We can improve their knowledge and their courses respectively. The approach proposed in this talk will be for sure extended in the future. It will be put in place to develop what we are already doing, an easy to use learning analytic tool that supports teachers in analyzing and predicting the students' performances while providing intuitive visualization for better grasping phenomena under study. Of course, more data and different data will be considered in the further analysis. Here you can find some references. Particularly, this talk was taken from this work, that is our last one, but you can refer also to some previous work and some other works that are still in press. So thank you again very much for having invited me. If you have, if you are interested in my research, you can refer to my homepage. You can write me an email. You can contact me whenever you want. So thank you again. I don't know if there are questions, and if I hope I was clear.
Thank you, ma'am. Really, it was very informative session. Thank you so much for a wonderful talk. Any questions
Thanks.
from participants?
I'm trying to. Okay. Are there any questions? Thanks. Anyway, perhaps if something was not very clear, you can refer to our articles, and if you have difficulties in finding them, you can write me and I will send you the original papers.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Gabriella, thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
accepting our invitation.
Thank you for having invited me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for delivering the wonderful talk.
Thanks.
Thank you. I think, Maina madam, can we start the valedictory?
Okay, sir. We are ready.
Okay. Maybe, what about Anaga, whether she joined?
So let me
Mohan
check.
sir is there. Director sir is there. If anybody is left out, or shall we start? Keeping you, sir. Professor, keeping you.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Yes, yes, professor. Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, my prayer.
Yeah. Devish sir, good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, Dr. Parmesachari.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. We are hearing you. Yeah. Registrar sir is also joined. Good evening, sir. Sir, we are not audible. You are not audible.
Sir. Good evening, sir. Hope I'm audible now.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, certainly, yes.
Yeah. Maina madam, Bandhavya and Rani, please go ahead. Maina madam, whether Rani is there? Hello, Rani?
Sir, we are here, sir.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
a
Rani,
minute.
please go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
The aim of education is the knowledge not of fact but of values. A very warm good evening, galaxy of intellectuals, invited guests, professors, students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rani R, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bandhavya GB, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. On behalf of the institution, we are delighted to offer a gracious welcome to all of you to the valedictory function of IEEE MysuruCon 2021, the first edition of the flagship international conference series of IEEE Mysuru subsection, hosted by the House of Sri M.S. Ramaya's Naukis College of Engineering, Hassan, and technically co-sponsored by IEEE Bangalore section. I request all the attendees to mute audio during the session. Now I consider that, according to our Indian tradition, any prosperous work should be started with prayer.
Yeah, Maina, unmute yourself. Rani.
I request all the attendees to mute audio during the session. Now I consider that, according to our Indian tradition, any prosperous work should be started with prayer. Let's begin this event by remembering our Creator. I call upon Anaga, third semester, Electronics and Communication Engineering, to render invocation song. Anaga.
Anaga, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
सरस्वती विधियुवती सरस्वती विधियुवती संरक्षतु मां श्री सरस्वती विधियुवती संरक्षतु मां श्री सरस्वती विधियुवती मुरली वीणा गान विनोदिनी संवेदिनी मुरली वीणा गान विनोदिनी संवेदिनी चारु चंद्रहासिनी सरसीरुह लोचनी मुरारी गुरु गुह मोदिनी शब्दार्थ स्वरूपिणी मुरारी गुरु गुह मोदिनी शब्दार्थ स्वरूपिणी हंसिनी ब्रह्माणि आरक्तवर्ण रूपिणी सा निसग निस निद निद मद मग मग सग निसा गग स सा स नि द म नि द मग स द मग स नि द मग स नि द मग स ग स नि द मग स ग म द नि स मग ग स नि नि द म द नि स मग सरस्वती विधियुवती
Thank you, Anaga. Partly, we all feel blessed indeed. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Bindu A. Thomas, General Chair, MysuruCon, Chair IEEE Mysuru Subsection. Dr. Bindu A. Thomas is the Chair of Mysuru Subsection, and she is the Professor and Head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Vidya Vikas Institute of Technology, Mysuru. She is also the member of Academic Council Committee of University of Mysuru, nominated by Government of Karnataka. Dr. Bindu has published over 85 peer-reviewed research publications. Dr. Bindu is a senior IEEE member, life member of IEEES and IETE Fellow of Institution of Engineers. She has won the IEEE Bangalore Section Best Branch Counselor for IEEE Small Student Branch Award. She is the Vice Chair, IEEE Education Society, IEEE Bangalore Chapter, Executive Committee Member, Women in Engineering AG, IEEE Bangalore Section. Dr. Bindu has received several awards and recognition, including Best Paper Awards and Champion at a Project Competition at IISc. She has won the award of IEEE Women in Engineering Achievers Award in 2020. May I take the pleasure of requesting Dr. Bindu A. Thomas to formally welcome the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A very good evening to all. I hope I'm audible, Professor. Yeah, thank you. Everything that starts well ends well. And today, after the two-day presentations, deliberations, we are here with the valedictory ceremony. And I'm indeed very proud and privileged to be here to welcome all the dignitaries to this valedictory ceremony who have joined us online. This event, this IEEE Mysuru subsection, MysuruCon, is the maiden flagship conference organized in association with IEEE Bangalore section and hosted by the Nowkis College of Engineering, Hassan. So I extend a hearty welcome to the chief guest, Dr. A.S. Deshpande, sir, Registrar, VTU, Belagavi. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. I extend a warm welcome to the guest of honor, Dr. Keyanoon, Waseda University, Japan. Thank you very much for joining us, Professor. It's indeed a privilege that you're here with us today. I would like to welcome Mr. Punit Kumar Mishra, the Honorary Chair and the mentor of MysuruCon, a scientist at ISRO Bengaluru, the past chair of IEEE Bengaluru section, as a guest of honor for today's valedictory ceremony. Welcome, Punit sir. I welcome Dr. Devish Devi, Chair of IEEE CAS Bengaluru Chapter, India, Site Head, Global Foundries, India. Thank you for joining us, sir. We're privileged that you're here with us during this valedictory ceremony. I have the privilege of welcoming Dr. Deepa Shenoy, Chair-elect IEEE UVC, IEEE Bengaluru Section, Dean, UVC Bengaluru. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and being here for the valedictory ceremony. I now welcome Sri Anand Raman MR, Chairman, Nowkis College of Engineering, for the valedictory ceremony. Thank you very much, sir, for the support and the hospitality extended during the inauguration and throughout the conference. I welcome Mr. Mg Vintage Muffi, Technical Director, Nowkis College of Engineering, Hassan, for the ceremony. Thank you, sir, very much. Thank you for the mentorship and thank you for the guidance. I extend a hearty welcome to Dr. Mohana Hedges, the Organizing Chair, MysuruCon, Principal of Nowkis College of Engineering, for the inaugural ceremony, for the valedictory ceremony. Thank you very much, sir. You've been a great support for this conference. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Parmeshachari BD, the General Chair, MysuruCon, Chair-elect of IEEE Mysuru Subsection, Professor and Head of Telecom Department at GSSIT Mysuru, for today's valedictory ceremony. Welcome, Professor. I extend a hearty welcome to Bindu Madhav, sir, the Chair of IEEE Bengaluru Section, for his presence and support and encouragement in all the activities that we have done in Mysuru subsection. Thank you, sir, and welcome you to this event. I welcome all the EXICOM members of Mysuru subsection and the EXICOM members of Bangalore section, EXICOM members of EXICOM members of Education Society, and all the other members who have joined us virtually today for this grand finale of the IEEE MysuruCon. I extend a warm welcome to all the heads of institutions, branch counselors, special invitees, industry experts for the ceremony. I would also like to welcome the representatives of the eminent gold sponsors, Upswing and Prakash Sponge, Iron and Power Private Limited, and the silver sponsors, Vishweshwaraya Technological University, Diksha Analytical Private Limited, Mahindra and Aditya Systems and Services, for today's valedictory ceremony. I also welcome and thank the session chairs, the student and faculty volunteers, teaching and non-teaching staff of Nowkis College of Engineering for the dedication and commitment in conducting this event in such a grand manner. Last but not the least, I welcome all the delegates for this valedictory ceremony, without whom this event would not have been so successful. Thank you once again for being a part of this maiden conference of IEEE Mysuru subsection, the MysuruCon 2021. Thank you. I welcome each and everyone once again. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, madam, for your earnest welcome address. I feel privileged to introduce Dr. Parmeshachari BD, General Chair, MysuruCon, Chair-elect, IEEE Mysuru subsection. Dr. Parmeshachari BD is currently working as Professor and Head in the Department of Telecommunication Engineering at GSSS Institute of Engineering and Technology for Women, Mysuru, affiliated to VTU Belagavi. He has a total of 18+ years of teaching and research experience, and he has worked at various positions and places like Karnataka, Kerala, and Mauritius. He is recognized as Research Guide at VTU Belagavi, and currently 5 research scholars are pursuing PhD degree under his supervision.
He is instrumental in establishing collaboration between GSSS, IETW and Multimedia University Malaysia and also with University of Sannio, Italy. He is the recipient of IEEE Bangalore Section Outstanding Voluntary Award 2020 in recognition of the outstanding contribution to the Bangalore section in the year 2020. He has published over 85 plus articles in SCI, Scopus, and other indexed journals and also in conferences. It is my honor to invite Dr. Parmeshachari BD to give insight of IEEE MysuruCon 2021. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Good evening, one and all. Respected distinguished guests on the dais, guests joined online, EXICOM members of IEEE Mysore subsection and IEEE Bangalore section, invitees, press and media representatives, participants of this international conference, and my dear colleagues, I feel proud and privileged to share the journey of this conference. It is indeed a special privilege for IEEE Mysore subsection to host this first edition of flagship international conference of IEEE Mysore subsection, IEEE MysuruCon 2021 at Naukis College of Engineering, Asan, in association with IEEE Bangalore section. The journey of MysuruCon started about a year back with commitment and enthusiasm. MysuruCon has been designed with a lot of passion and hard work to be truly innovative and creative to match the fast-changing technical world. Well, let us bird's view of about day one's conference proceedings. Inauguration of IEEE MysuruCon 2021 was graced by special guest Dr. Karisitappa, Honorable Vice Chancellor VTU Belagavi, Chief Guest Aloknath De, Senior Vice President and CTO Samsung R&D Institute India Bangalore, Guest of Honors Dr. Ashutosh Datta from USA, Dr. Rosio from Spain, Mr. Punit Kumar Mishra, Honorary Chair MysuruCon and Fast Chair IEEE Bangalore section, Mr. B.S. Bindu Madhava, Chair IEEE Bangalore section, Shri Anandram MR, Chairman Naukis College of Engineering, Dr. Mg Vintage Muffi, Director Technical Naukis College of Engineering, Asan, Dr. Mohana HS, Organizing Chair and as well as Principal Naukis College of Engineering, Asan, Dr. Bindu A. Thomas, General Chair MysuruCon and Chair IEEE Mysore subsection. To mark the occasion of the proceedings of IEEE MysuruCon 2021 was released by the dignitaries. The readership of this IEEE MysuruCon 2021 proceedings will find the included papers interesting, inspiring, and important both in professional values as well as personal appeal. MysuruCon proved to be very popular and received submissions from all over the world. To name a few, USA, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Bangladesh, UK, Spain, South Africa, France, Nigeria, Ethiopia, and also from the premier institutions like IITs and NITs, Manipal, ISRO, DRDO, NAL in India. And MysuruCon has attracted over 550 scholarly submissions, and conference program committee had a very challenging task of choosing high quality submissions. After the standard review, IEEE review process through rigorous review and recommendation of the reviewers, 148 highly quality scholarly submissions were selected for inclusion in the conference proceedings. The papers selected for this MysuruCon were segregated into 14 parallel sessions based on the domain, and each track we are going to announce the best paper award soon, and it will be awarded with the cash prize and the certificate, and we will issue the participation certificate after the conference. And we invited for all the 14 sessions, we have invited domain experts from reputed universities and the IT industries to assist the presentation and give fruitful suggestions to the participants. Finally, we hope that you will find this conference to be valuable resources in your professional research and educational activities, whether you are a student, academician, or researcher. And we express our sincere thanks to the keynote speakers, authors, session chairs, technical program committee members, and reviewer who are responsible for the success of this conference. I am grateful to our Honorable Registrar, VTU Belagavi, Dr. A.S. Deshpande, for providing financial support for organizing this conference and also helped us in publicity of MysuruCon through VTU website. I take this opportunity to express my deepfelt gratitude to Shri M.R. Anandram, Chairman, Naukis College of Engineering, Dr. Mg Vintage Muffi, Director Technical, Dr. Mohana HS, Principal, Naukis College of Engineering, Asan, for providing us with all possible logistic support towards organizing this conference. On this occasion, I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Bindu A. Thomas, Chair IEEE Mysore section to make this event a grand success. We express our sincere gratitude to all the ExCom members of IEEE Mysore subsection, IEEE Bangalore section, and staff members of Naukis College of Engineering who have lent their shoulders for organizing this conference. Also, I extend my gratitude to the members of various committees of the conference who have supported us for organizing this conference. Thank you for your patience listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing about IEEE MysuruCon 2021. The fragrance of flowers spread only in the direction of the wind, but the goodness of a person spreads in all directions. We are delighted to have with us Dr. A.S. Deshpande, Registrar, VTU Belagavi, as an honorable chief guest of the valedictory ceremony. Dr. A.S. Deshpande completed graduation in mechanical engineering from BVB College of Engineering, Hubli, followed by MTech from IIT Kanpur, and obtained doctoral degree in mechanical engineering from NITK Surathkal. Dr. Deshpande presently working as Registrar of University Visvesvaraya Technological University, Belagavi since July 2019, after serving as principal of Gopte Institute of Technology, Belgaum for 10 years. He has worked with GIT for 30 years in various positions. He had 3+ years of industrial experience, and he has successfully guided 9 candidates for PhD and presently guiding 5 candidates. He has published 72 papers in journals and conferences. He is also member of American Society for Mechanical Engineers, Institution of Engineers, Indian Society for Technical Education, former member of Academic Senate of Visvesvaraya Technological University, expert member on field teams of MBA and NAC. He visited USA, Singapore, Netherlands, and China on academic assignments. I invite Honorable Chief Guest to address the gathering.
Namaskar and good evening. Hope I'm audible.
Yes,
I'm audible. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, sir.
Yes. Namaskar and good evening. Honorable President of today's function, Sri Anand Ramji, the Chairman of Naukis, Hassan, Professor Mg Vintage Muffi, the Director Technical of Naukis. Also, we have with us the guest of honor, Dr. Qianyun, Mr. Punit Kumar Mishra ji, Dr. Devish Devi ji. Also, we have with us Dr. Mohan, the organizing chair of MysuruCon and the principal of Naukis, Dr. Bindu A. Thomas, the general chair of MysuruCon, the chair IEEE Mysore, Dr. Parmeshachari BD, the general chair of MysuruCon and the chairman-elect of IEEE Mysore, the ExCom members of IEEE Mysore as well as from Bengaluru, the other invitees, the guests, the participants, the delegates. Indeed, it is a matter of great pleasure for me to be the part of the valedictory program of this IEEE MysuruCon 2021. Yes, this is probably one of the most desirable kind of an event for an academic institution. Of course, the Naukis, of course, I've been hearing about this institute for quite some time now. I personally see 3 important special points with this institution. Point number 1, it comes from the house of Sri M.S. Ramaya's family, and I think that makes a big difference. Point number 2, it has the association of the great academicians like Professor Mg Vintage Muffi. He has been steering the whole, the institute very efficiently, and it is located in Hassan, probably a city which has its beginning right from the Hoysala days in the 11th century. And of course, the academic flavor in this part of Karnataka, especially Mysuru and Hassan region, is altogether with a different touch. I always feel that, the institute is always known, especially when I speak about the academic institute, it is always known by the culture that we see in the institute, by its effort and preparedness to move in the academic direction with the right kind of ingredients, the people associated, and of course the kind of image and the kind of respect the institute and the people of that organization enjoy in the academic and the academic circles as well as the society. And I see Naukis is really doing a great job on all these counts. Yes, the conferences, especially with the backup of the professional bodies like IEEE, certainly add to the knowledge pool of the teachers and the students of the institute. Primarily because IEEE, of course, even ASME and many such bodies, we see a perfect mix of the people from the research domain, the industry, the academia, and the people who think differently and who would love to ensure that the academia, the industry, the research, all these three, the verticals come together and contribute to society for the purpose. We strongly believe that, especially this particular focus has come up in the academics of late, and most of the academic institutions are working seriously towards this particular the direction. The direction is that we should have the education, experience, and exposure, all these three ingredients added together when we offer the basket to the student. And I think not just the classroom teaching, but the exposure, by giving them an opportunity to listen to the wonderful researchers, the experts who have contributed to the field, and of course the experiential learning, like making them to get a feel of the industry or society through internships or through interactions or through projects, and that is something which is happening in a very focused manner in most of the academic institutions. Of course, VTU also has initiated its efforts in this direction with the new syllabus, the new scheme which is being introduced from 2021 onwards. All efforts are being made to ensure that the students are prepared well with all these ingredients. There are going to be so many electives, the industry internship, and not just engineering. The students would be learning many other verticals and many other areas of their passion too. Of course, as we all know, though we always say that IEEE focuses more onto the electrical and the electronics and CS kind of domains, and ASME focuses more on mech engineering kind of fields. But if you see of course, all of us, we agree on to that, this particular part, that these walls across branches have almost disappeared. You see that primarily we are preparing an engineer. And an engineer is one who has the ability to apply the basic principles of science and mathematics for certain application, which would be useful to the society. But of course, he is also required to add the common sense. He should show concern for the societal issues, and he should have the ability to work in a multidisciplinary environment. So he is required to go much beyond the specific area into which he did his studies, and this is something which is happening as we move on. Primarily, the academic institutions are supposed to teach the students how to learn, that's all. Because as we all know, the tools are changing, the technologies are changing. Of course, the fundamentals and basics are extremely important. If the fundamentals and basics are taught properly, and if the students are capable of applying their learning, applying their knowledge right from the first principles for the given assignment, they could get the solution. We always speak about innovation. What is innovation? Innovation is, always for a common man, it is something new. If you ask, for a business person, innovation is something which would add value and get him little more business. No, innovation is something which depends on how we look at it, and always this innovation or innovative thinking abilities are possible. I strongly believe that in only and only if our basics and fundamentals are strong, we have the ability to think laterally as well as critically. We should not always think in a single direction. We must think in all possible directions. we must think critically. Always we should not just go by whatever we see on the table, but we'll have to go much beyond and understand what could be better or how it could be improved. And primarily, we should be using our whole brain. Always we say that left brain speaks more about the logics, facts, analytical abilities, etc. And the right brain, contributes to the intuition, the creativity. And unless until we use both the sides of the brain, the whole brain, innovation or research, yes, it may not move forward. And I think the platforms like IEEE MysuruCon, the interaction with the experts, and of course, I also strongly believe that whatever happens in the classroom, the teacher, the students' interaction, all these, the ingredients will take us towards this particular point. Always we say that the current students, the generation Y, they are not serious, they are casual, they are not very serious about academics, but most of the times we all would agree that this is a generation, they can learn very fast. Their ability to understand the new technologies is phenomenal. They can think in a different way, but also there are some minus points which we always see. The patience levels are very less. They are demanding. They have an opinion. So the point is that the teaching, learning which happens in the institutes, we'll have to connect to this generation with this particular manner so that they are, they could connect well with the system, but at the same time, they must be guided properly and they must be prepared properly for the industry or for the society with this innovative mindset, the ability to think differently, ability to research and contribute something. And I think, this particular conference would certainly serve the purpose in this direction. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be the part of IEEE MysuruCon and giving me an opportunity to say a few words. Thank you so much once again. And congratulations to all the the participants. I'm told that some papers would be selected as best papers, some papers would be appreciated. Please note, in any competition or any conference or any competition, to be more specific, there are only two things: either we win or we learn. So I think everybody is a winner as far as this particular event is concerned. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your influential message. I request everyone to switch on your videos for the group photo.
Deepak, stop share this one. Deepak? Yes. Rani, you can count it. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Fine. So participants are there.
Yeah, I think okay. Rani, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Nothing great will be achieved without great men, and men are only great if they are determined to do so. We are happy to have with us Dr. Qianyun, Waseda University, Japan, as the guest of honor for today's function. It is my pleasure to introduce him. Qianyun received his ME in 2012 and PhD in 2016 from the Graduate School of Global Information and Telecommunication Studies, Waseda University, Tokyo, Japan. He was a research associate during 2015 to 2019 and a junior researcher during 2019 to 2020 with the Global Information and Telecommunication Institute, Waseda University, where he is currently a researcher. He has hosted and participated in more than 10 projects, and he is involved in many standardization activities organized by ITUT and ICNRG of IRTF, and has contributed to ITUT standards 5.301 and supplement 35. His research interests include smart grids, information-centric networking, the Internet of Things, blockchain, and information security. Dr. Yu has chaired several IEEE international conferences. He has been a lead guest editor for Sensar's peer-to-peer networking and applications, energies, and guest editor for IEICE transactions on information and systems, intelligent automation and soft computing, computer communications. He is an editor of the IEEE Open Journal of Vehicular Technology. It is my honor to invite Dr. Qianyun to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Yes, I can hear. So, hi everyone. So, good evening in Japan. So maybe afternoon in India. So, it's always good pleasure to welcome all of you to this, the first edition of the flagship international conference series of the IEEE Mysore subsection, IEEE MysuruCon 2021, conducted at the Navcase College of Engineering, Hassan. So this conference brings together a large number of researchers and industry professionals in the field of engineering. So this year, this conference covers over more than 500 delegates from around the world to share, discuss, and to share the state of the art advance in this repeatedly involved fields. So I believe this conference is on its way of becoming an annual event and a flagship conference in India. So take a look around us. So we found the technology in every aspect and the corner of our lives. So advancements from the electronic communications and the computer engineering and technologies have transformed our societies. So I'm very happy to congratulate the organizers of this conference. So, and I wish that this conference will provide a platform for the participants in the field of engineering and technology. So organization of this conference would not have been possible without the large number of individuals. So this conference needs to many volunteers who contributed to the various tasks that make up the conference, and it would not be possible for me to name them all in this short message. So I would also wish to thank the TPC Technical Program Commit that commit a large number of peer review process of around more than 515 technical papers to select a high quality technical program comprising 148 technical presentations for this conference. So I also would like to comment the organizing this committee by my friend, Dr. Mishra had done a very wonderful job. So I also would like to seize this opportunity to thank all the support for their contribution to this conference. So which is this conference success in the States, and we can have much more communication, discussing, and future possible cooperations. So thank you so much. You have this chance to speak here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for your rich words, sir. We rarely get this kind of opportunity to listen to the words of a great knowledgeable person. I would like to introduce Punit Kumar Mishra, Vice Chair, IEEE India Council. Punit Kumar Mishra obtained his MTech from IIT Roorkee in the year 2004. Since 2004, he is with UR Rao Satellite Center, Bangalore. He has rich experience of RF characterization of 45 satellites, 300 antennas. He has played a pivotal role in establishing satellite-level EMC facility. He is also responsible for establishment of Asia's largest subsystem-level magnetic measurement facility and world's first and largest compact range with 10-meter quiet zone. Presently, he is serving as Vice Chair IEEE India Council and Chair-elect IEEE AP MTT Joint Bangalore Chapter. Thank you so much, sir. It's my great pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Devish Devi, on this occasion. Dr. Devish Devi is India Site Head for Foundry IP Development and Design Center of Excellence, Global Foundries India. He holds PhD in Electronics Engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, BHU, Varanasi, India. He has 22 plus years of experience in VLSI design, industry-leading IP development, design and technology enablement solutions. Dr. Dwivedi is Executive Chair, IEEE Circuits and Systems, Bangalore Section, and Senior IEEE member. He is very active in the area of tech vitality and university relations. A member of External Academic Peer Review Board and Industry Consultative Committee, Examiner Board member for Masters and PhD thesis at IITs and NITs. He supervised 5 PhD students and 10 master students for their thesis work. He served as General Chair, Organizing Chair, Advisory Board member, TPC for several conferences in the area of VLSI design. He is Distinguished Visiting Professor at IITs and NITs. He has 7 US patents, 5 trade secret publications, 40 research publications in IEEE journals and conference. I request Dr. Devish Devi to inspire us with his valuable words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
All right. So first of all, I would like to thanks IEEE MysuruCon and the entire organizing committee of this wonderful event and giving this opportunity. And really, this is a pleasure and it's a honor for me to be part of this event. And as other dignity talked before me, I think this was a really wonderful and successful two-day event. And also, this is the first edition of this conference. And I'm sure that in the future event, this conference will reach to the new height. And also, I would like to extend a very warm welcome and thanks to entire organizing committee, TPC, all the researchers, all the participants, authors, co-authors, presenters, and more than, I think, volunteers. I know that how much effort goes and in the background, and especially in the current situation we are going through, this pandemic that we have to, and I came to know this event has been organized like a hybrid event. I think day 1 was the face-to-face and the day 2 is where it's a mix. I think people attending virtual and people attending face-to-face as well. So that required a lot of tremendous effort, and then I say the lot of hard work to successfully organize such event. And quickly, I'll not take much time going back to, I think as Professor Deshpande mentioned that in terms of what we can do and how we can help. I have been associated with industry, but parallelly, it's my passion that I try whenever I get little time, what I can do to the society and also to the academia. And I have been the visiting professor to IITs and NITs since 2012. And I know challenges, and I know that what academia is looking forward and how both can play a bigger role, both industry, academia together to reach to the new height. And on behalf of IEEE CAS, surely I want to highlight few of the things which is really very crucial and very, I think, needed for this academia research community as well as the students. There are multiple opportunities in terms of research, innovation, taking advantage of the industry, what is happening. One of the recent event we did under IEEE CAS Bangalore chapters, Industry Academia Conclave 2021. The whole theme was to understand what is happening in the academia and what is going on in the industry and what are the gaps and how we can bridge that gap. And if you see this type of collaboration, research, what's happening in the United States, the Europe and other parts of the world, a lot more work to be done, especially if you talk about the India ecosystem. And surely coming from the industry background, I see things are progressing, things are happening, but a lot more need to be done. Some of the things I want to highlight, and especially I would like to encourage all the researchers and the students to take advantage of that. Professor Deshpande mentioned that, yeah, in the academia or in the institute, students can learn, can know new things, but how to make them ready for the industry. And one of the invited talk during this industry academia conclave from RV College of Engineering principal was, okay, in the institute we can make them ready for the concept, but how concept to the product, that's where the industry comes into picture. They can provide the opportunity and the learning for these students in different ways, like whether it's mentorship or the internship, and internship also multiple like ways it can be done. Earlier it was mainly that like on-site. Now this COVID has taught us that even virtually also we can achieve this, something called the off-site internship, where the student still can continue his project or the work remotely and get all the support from the industry side, whether the problem statement or the technical mentorship or the support in that area. And not only the students, multiple other initiatives for the faculties, because not faculty also has to be up to speed what is happening around the world in the cutting edge technology. So also something called the faculty enrichment program. So a lot of industries offering that, where faculty can come to the industry for a couple of weeks or months. They work with the technical leaders in the industry and know the what's happening and how they can leverage on that. And also from the IEEE side, whether IEEE Bangalore section, IEEE CAS or other chapters, there are multiple initiatives and multiple opportunity to extend all the support, whether technical support or even taking the flagship of these institutes, and also in terms of the financial support. So I encourage all the students, faculty to come forward and take advantage of that. And with that, again, I think I would like to thanks entire IEEE Mysore section team, IEEE MysuruCon team, Naukis College of Engineering Hassan team for such wonderful event. And I know that all the participants, everyone must have enjoyed this conference, and looking forward to many more such events in the future. With that, again, thanks for giving me the opportunity, and looking forward to working with you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your presence.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. I would like to introduce Dr. Deepa Shenoy, Chair-elect IEEE BS UVCE Bangalore. Dr. Deepa Shenoy is currently working in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at UVCE Bangalore. She has a total of 35 years of teaching and 20 years of research experience, and she has worked as a Dean Faculty of Engineering, Placement Officer, Chairperson, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Branch Advisor and Branch Counselor, IEEE UVCE, Nodal Officer, Academics TechUp. Thank you, Madam. The inspiration and philosophy of Dr. M.S. Ramaiah has been the guiding light of his son, Sri M.R. Anandram, who is the chairman of Ram's Education Foundation and chairman of Egachi Education and Research Trust. Naukis College of Engineering Hassan has been established under his leadership into a state-of-the-art technical institution which ensures its graduate engineers are agile, flexible, and skilled in order to thrive in the dynamic external environment. Naukis College of Engineering is a part of the Naukis group of institutions, a trusted provider in quality education across Karnataka, established in 2000 with Naukis Educational Center in Bangalore. Naukis group today has grown into 8 different centers of excellence, ranging from preschoolers to engineering professionals across its schools and colleges across Karnataka. Shri M.R. Anandram is also the director at the Ramaya Group of Institutions and Hospitals. The re-owned Ramaya brand in education and healthcare continues to grow under the leadership and guidance of Mr. Anandram. I feel very happy that the man of distinct vision and a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge and experience, and inspiration to all of us, that is Chairman of Naukis College of Engineering, Mr. M.R. Anandram, conveyed his best wishes to all of them who contributed for the success of this function through a simple VT.
ಹಲೋ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ?
Deepak, voice is not visible. Sorry, audible. Is not audible. Deepak?
Sir, it's actually audible, sir. Audible.
No, ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ?
ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದು ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
Now, sir.
ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ.
No. ಅದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿ.
Could you please help us with that, Hengappa?
ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿ ದೀಪಕ್. ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು.
ಹೋಗಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ.
To send a sincere message of support at the valedictory of Ieee Mysore on 2021.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Today International Conference has provided a platform for researchers and faculty to exchange their ideas. I congratulate the members of the organizing committee for hosting and conducting a very meaningful conference. As chairman of Naukis College of Engineering, I assure that conferences of this type will continue in the coming years also. I thank every one of you for attending the conference and making it a grand success. Thank you all.
Deepak, take care.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our participants to share their experience and feedback about this conference. First, I request Dr. Mv Krishna Rao, Professor, Department of Electronics and Communications Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad, to share his experience.
I think Rani has not joined. He told he is in the travel. We'll go for next one.
Okay, sir. May I now request Mandahari Kusuma, Universitas Islam Negeri, Sunan Kalijaga, Yogyakarta, Indonesia, to share his experience.
We'll go for next one. I think they are also there. not joined.
I request Mobolanle Bello, School of Mathematics and Computer Science, University of Wolverhampton, UK. So can you suggest any other participants to share his
Yeah, any participant, you please unmute yourself. Mr. Ravi. Ravi, can you please give your feedback? No, please unmute yourself. Anyone, you please speak out. Kindly speak.
Dr. Ramya may be there. Dr. Ramya?
Yeah, please. Anybody, please unmute yourself. Jai Sudha, madam.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
yes, madam, please. Yes,
Yes, sir.
please.
A very good evening to
Yeah.
all of you. I'm here happy to share my feedback today. So this was organized by IEEE Mysuru subsection for the first time, first of its kind. Very well organized and very well structuredly planned conference, I can say, under the chairmanship of Dr. Bindu Thomas and Dr. Parmeshachari sir. Very well done, ma'am. Thank you so much. I was there as a presenter today in one of the session around 12:30. So I could see the timing and everything was organized so well, and it went on well. So I'm glad to be an author as well as to be a part of this conference. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you,
so
madam.
much,
Thank you.
Jessica. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ravi, Dr. Selvi, madam.
Yeah. Hetu Selvi, ma'am.
Dr. Selvi, madam is there.
Yeah, I'm there. Thank you
Yeah,
for
yes, ma'am.
me to give a feedback.
Yeah, yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, I was author of a paper today in one of the session, and I feel it was quite well organized. And one suggestion was I think the paper session should have lasted for one full day, because you had a lot of papers for presenting, and session chairs had a very tough task to listen to so many papers in one half session. So if it would have been full day, they would have spent some more time. 10 minutes was very short for some of the researchers to express their ideas, etc. So congratulations to the Mysore section, particularly Bindu Thomas madam and Parmeshachari sir. Thank you.
Sure, madam, sure. We will incorporate that. Thank you, madam.
So much, ma'am. Thank you for your feedback. Can we have any of the session chairs to just share a few feedback?
Yeah, Sudarshan sir. Sudarshan Patil Kulkarni sir. He was the session chair today.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening
please.
to open and all. Yeah, it was a very exciting 2 days, both the inauguration session and today's papers. It was, I mean, all the credit should go to the mainly to our chair and chair-elect. They have done an excellent job, and also the faculty and non-teaching staff of Ieee College of Engineering, who have put major effort in organizing this and giving it this excellent shape. I was particularly impressed with yesterday's stage. It was a very outstanding stage, and all the invitees from the foreign delegates, and it was made as a truly international conference. So I congratulate one and all. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for your feedback.
So I think we can move forward, sir.
Yeah, I think, Rani, please go ahead.
Thank you, participants, for your valuable feedback. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Bindu A. Thomas, General Chair, MysuruCon, to announce the Best Paper Award.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most exciting, event for which the participants, the delegates are all waiting for. And I'm sure the session chairs had a great time, and of course, the challenging time to identify the top papers in each of the tracks. It's been a tremendous journey in terms of identifying the best papers for the oral presentation. That itself claims that you are the top researchers and you're here in this flagship conference presenting your research work. And I'm sure each one of you are a winner for being a part of this amazing conference that has been put together by the wonderful delegates and the organizers together. Yeah, so I have the privilege to announce the best papers. Going forward, the first track, please go ahead. Yeah, the track on computer networks and security. We have the paper titled Implementation of IRIG B time codes on ZYNQ SOC platform. The authors are Sangeeta RS, Kamal C, Jayashree MN from the college. They are from the industry. Hearty congratulations. They are from the team of Navigation and Stabilization, PDIC, Bharat Electronics Limited, Bengaluru. Hearty congratulations for the first, Best Paper Award for the track 1, Computer Networks and Security.
Okay, any authors are there? Any authors?
Please come forward so that we can congratulate you personally. Online though.
Can you please speak few words?
Myself Sangeeta sir. Thank you so much. So thank you for selecting our paper and giving an opportunity to present here. Actually, when we have decided like this work, we are doing one time synchronization system for our Indian Air Force. So when I have seen this conference notification, it was the right time. Like we were trying to implement something like about IRIG time codes, and just we have submitted with a hope like it may be getting accepted. Anyway, we are very glad to present and just showcase our work. That is like this industries like BL is working for our country for providing various defense solutions. So I'm very happy to be showcasing our work at the same time. Be a part of one well-recognized IEEE MysuruCon 2021 conference. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Sangeeta. I'm also happy to share that this first, track has 2 Best Paper Awards, and equally they are sharing the award. The next award is Best Paper Award for this track goes to the paper title Cybersecurity Threats Detection Analysis and Remediation. The authors are Darshini P, Mohana Kumar S, C.G. Raghavendra, Krishna Prasad S.J., Kavita H, and Divakara S. They are from the Ramaya Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. Hearty congratulations to you too.
I think Professor Krishna Prasad is here. Sir, can you please say a few words?
Yeah, sir. Yeah. I really am very elated to have this Best Paper Award. This project was done in Intel, and myself and my colleague Dr. Mohan Kumar has framed this paper. We had a very tough time in framing this cyber security threats, and he has framed. Full kudos to Dr. Mohan Kumar on these issues, and it was a nice paper. We didn't expect that we can get Best Paper Award. See, we are elated, and I remain humbly thankful for the organizers of IEEE Bangalore Con and yourself, sir, and Madam Indu Thomas, Madam, for giving us this award. We are elated, and so our college flags are flying high. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Going forward, we have the second track, Computer Vision and Pattern Recognition. The paper titled Reverse Image Search Improved
Best
by
paper award. Paper presentation.
Yeah.
Best paper award.
Sangeeta, Professor, can you please mute yourself? We are on
sorry.
call. No issue. Hearty congratulations to Parasnath Singh, Tara P. Gaudar from the CMR IT, Bengaluru. Best Paper Award for track 2. May I have the presenters to come forward?
Professor Parasnath, Professor. Okay, I think they are not there, madam. Please go ahead.
Yeah. The track 3, Antenna Design and Telecommunications, paper titled Time Delay Digital Tanlock Loop Based Demodulators in FPGA. Authors are Raghu Pili, N. Lakshmi Narsimha, Pavan Kumar Bhargav, Geeta S., Jyoti Soman, and P.S. Sura from the college, UR Rao Satellite Center, ISRO, Bengaluru, India. Hearty congratulations to the team.
Yeah, Mr. Raghu. Mr. Raghu, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
I would like to thank MysuruCon subsection and Navigates College of Engineering, Hassan, for giving us this opportunity participating in prestigious IEEE conference. And thank you for selecting us as the best paper. And in this scenario, I would like to thank my team for their well-supported cooperation, the organization as well. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Hearty congratulations once again. Going forward, track 4, Power, Energy and Power Electronics. The paper titled Radiated Emission Analysis of Switching Regulators Used in Laptops. Authors Darshan G, Yagnesh V. Wagle, Champa V from the BMS College of Engineering, Bengaluru. Hearty congratulations, authors. Is there anyone to represent this paper? Please come forward.
Who's
Yes, ma'am.
there?
Thank you. Darshan. I'm
Darshan.
Darshan. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
This project was carried
Yeah,
out in
please.
Intel actually. So it's been a 1 year of hard work which have been put in. And I also thank Yagnesh, who is a part of Intel, and Champavi ma'am, who is a assistant professor in BMS College of Engineering. Yeah, I'm delighted. I'm very, very excited. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So track 5, Robotics, VLSI and Embedded Systems. The paper titled Deep Reinforcement Learning Algorithms for Multi-Agent Systems, a Solution for Modeling Epidemics. Ma'am Setu Selvi, ma'am, you're there. Hearty congratulations. Dhananjay Kumar,
Yeah.
Lohit NV, MP Venkatesh,
Yes.
Bharadwaj, Kartikesh Shetty from Ramaya Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. Hearty
Yeah,
congratulations.
Setu Selvi madam is here.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am is a great
Dr. Selvi
inspiration.
madam.
Ma'am, come
Hello.
forward.
Dr. Selvi madam.
Or
Can you
maybe
say
one
a
of
few
our
words?
students can answer this call. Anybody there?
Okay. Yes. I think madam, please go ahead next, I think.
Track 6, Computing System and its Application, paper titled English Master Ammu, Chatbot for English Learning. Authors are Gayatri A.N., Vijay Rajendra V. from the NSS College of Engineering, Palakkad. I'm sure it's an exciting learning chatbot. Hearty congratulations to the authors from NSS College of Engineering, Palakkad. I'm sure there also, is there anybody available from this team? No, let's go forward, sir. Yeah. So the last track, track 7, Machine Design, Material Design and Emerging Technologies, paper title, Machine Learning Based Real-Time Traffic Control System. Authors are Sweetie Jain, Anushka Singh, Shweta N. Shah, Rohan Lamam, Diksha Saxena from the college, Sardar Vallabhai, National Institute of Technology, Surat. Hearty congratulations to the authors. Yeah, indeed. Is there anyone can just share your experience? So that's the end of the awards. And I'm very happy to share that this has been a very exciting journey for all the delegates who have presented their research work. Thank you once again for participating in this event and look forward to your participation in the coming series in the year 2022.
Hello, ma'am. How to collect the certificate of?
Yeah, we will announce.
We will arrange. We will arrange.
We will announce.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, if it is over, I will take 1 minute. So thanks once again. I congratulate all the best paper awardees. We will share all the certificates and details through email, and we will contact the best paper awardees. And we need your account details, and we will send the Google form to collect your account details, account number, IFSC code, and everything. We will share through email. We will collect the details of best paper awardees. And also we will send the presentation certificate to all the participants, maybe 1 or 2 days. Within 2 days, we will expect. And also, we are verifying all the papers as per the standard format of IEEE. If any issues, we will contact you soon, and we will try to submit the papers to IEEE Explore of all the accepted and presented papers of this MysuruCon. And we need to have all the formatted paper. If the final paper is correct, then we need to convert it to PDF Express. We'll try to convert from our end if possible. Otherwise, we will contact you soon. Maybe within end of this week, we'll try to contact you. So you have to convert the PDF Express. So we are putting the page number for all your papers from 1 to the serial numbers we are putting for all the paper page numbers. If it is verified from our end, we will forward to you once again. If the final paper is okay from your end, then we will submit to the IEEE Explore. So please check the emails regularly, and please be in contact, and don't exit the WhatsApp group of MysuruCon authors. I request all authors, at least one author of each paper should be in the MysuruCon authors group. So then it is very easy to communicate you people, and please respond us immediately whenever we ask any queries from the organizing team of MysuruCon. So we request you to respond immediately. We will send all the presentation certificate and best paper presentation certificate at the earliest, maybe within 2 to 3 days. We will send all the details, and we will collect the bank details soon. Thank you.
Sir, till when this will be reflected in Scopus database?
Yeah, it will take time, sir. After publishing in the IEEE Explore, it will take time.
Okay, sir. Any assumed time? Can you calculate any?
No, it is not possible to tell from our end, sir, because it is based on the Scopus and the IEEE Explore. Okay, we will submit to the IEEE Explore. After review from the IEEE Explore, then it is published. Okay, it will take some time.
Okay, sir.
We
Thank
cannot
you.
assure. It may be 6 months or 8 months, like that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
We cannot give a date, the exact date.
Sir, when the paper will be published, we will supposed to get the
Yeah,
link.
we will communicate to you. You will get an email.
Okay. Sure.
So everything will be communicated by email.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay. So that's what. Please check your email. I mean, regularly, and please respond us immediately whenever we ask the queries.
And the presentation certificate we will also get through email, right?
Sure. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, please, Rani, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. On behalf of Navki's family, I congratulate all the winners. A pessimist complains about the wind, an optimist tries to change it, and a leader adjusts the sails. The sails for this particular notion were adjusted by a person who is not only a great motivation to all of us, but a visionary and a person who gives us the belief to bring together this event. He is none other than our beloved technical director, Dr. Mg Vintage Muffi. It's my immense pleasure to introduce him. Dr. Mg Vintage Muffi is a director technical at Navki's College of Engineering, Hassan. Dr. Muffi obtained his bachelor degree in electrical engineering from the University of Mysore, MTech in computer technology from IIT Delhi, and PhD in computer science from Anna University, Chennai. He has served in the field of technical education for nearly 5 decades. Past principal of Malad College of Engineering, Hassan, he has been the dean, member of executive committee and academic council of the VTU. He has also been dean and member of faculty of engineering of University of Mysore. He has guided many students for postgraduate and doctoral degrees. He has published many research papers and 2 textbooks on computer science. He is the recipient of the Best Principal Award by Indian Society for Technical Education in 2007. I request Dr. Mg Vintage Muffi sir to deliver the presidential address.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really happy. First, let me congratulate Bindu Thomas and Paramesachari for the paramount amount of work they have done, and also for the good feedback our organizations have obtained. I really should thank Punit Kumar Mishra, keeping you, Devish Devi, and Deepa Shane, who are involved in this IEEE conference. IEEE conference is really our, it was, one of the very finest organization throughout the world, and everybody will, have an ambition of publishing their work directly or indirectly in one of the IEEE platforms. This has been made possible by our college, Naukis College of Engineering, with the cooperation of Mysore people, that is our Bindu Thomas, Parmeshachari. They have given an opportunity. As soon as I got an information, I requested our ever charming President, Chairman Anand Ram, that we will do it, and he readily accepted it, and he has really cooperated with us to do everything. And we are ready to do such things not only for IEEE, it may be ASME, for ASCE. We will definitely do it at Naukis College of Engineering. I'm really happy that our registrar was talking about good of our institution and our people working over here, everything he was telling. And also he is having a very high opinion about our MS Ramaya group. And we will assure that as an offspring of this MS Ramaya group, we will do everything possible to uplift the education. And he was telling one thing, do research. You win or you learn. That definitely, there is nothing like losing when you do research. That's what our Honorable Deshpande was telling. And we are really happy. We opened with our Honorable Vice Chancellor, and we are concluding with Deshpande, another learned man. And I should, there will be, I think our Dr. Mohana will be giving vote of thanks. Therefore, let me not keep on thanking everybody. At least before I conclude, I thank my team under the leadership of Dr. Maina, which has done very well in organizing things. We may conceptually organize something, practically implementing is difficult. That's what my experience has been. Our people, Mohana, Maina, and all these people, let me tell you, Bandhavya, Rani, or whosoever it is, if I am missing the name, I may be excused. Everybody has done well. We assure everybody that we will be doing this, and I thank on behalf of the institution, on behalf of the even the organizers from Mysore, everybody who have cooperated with us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your profound knowledge with us.
Thank
Now,
you.
I would like to introduce our principal, Dr. H.S. Mohana, the principal of Naukis College of Engineering, Hassan. Dr. H.S. Mohana completed his BE from AIT Chikmagalur, and his ME is from the Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. He has completed PhD from VTU Belagavi. Dr. Mohana comes with a rich and varied experience as an educator and researcher for over 33 years. He has published 2 textbooks and more than 60 papers in national and international conferences and journals in India and abroad. He has 139 plus citations in his credit. He has rendered academic surveys in the BOE, BOS of various universities of repute. Dr. Mohana has chaired several IEEE international conferences and has been recognized as a reviewer for many reputed national and international journals and conferences. Under his leadership and dynamism, Naukis College of Engineering has been scaling newer heights. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. We have come to the end of the valedictory function. I am sure we had productive and inspiring time together. May I now request our beloved principal, Dr. H.S. Mohana, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, respected dignitaries who joined online to this valedictory program of MysuruCon 2021, first flagship conference of IEEE Mysore subsection. I am really privileged to propose vote of thanks on this occasion as an organizing chair and also as principal of Naukis College of Engineering, Hassan, on behalf of management of Naukis College of Engineering, Hassan. I would like to express my deep felt thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Anand S. Deshpande, Registrar, VTU Belagavi, Karnataka, for delivering the valedictory speech and sharing his valuable knowledge. Also, appreciating the effort of Naukis College of Engineering for hosting this big event. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I sincerely thank our guest of honor, Dr. Keping Yu, Waseda University, Japan, for sparing his valuable time with us and enriching our knowledge. Thank you very much, sir. Before I move ahead, I have a long list. Please bear with me. Without their support, it would have not been possible. That's why please bear with me for 1 or 2 minutes. Before I move ahead, I thank all the keynote speakers for their valuable knowledge sharing and a guidance to the budding research community. I thank them all. I am deeply grateful to Punit Kumar Mishra, Honorary Chair, MysuruCon, Vice Chair, and IEEE Council, Senior Scientist ISRO, who has been the guiding spirit behind MysuruCon 2021. I thank guest of honor, Dr. Devish Devi, Chair, IEEE Circuits and System Bangalore chapter, for sharing his experience and knowledge. Thank you, sir. I sincerely thank Dr. Deepa Shanai, Chair-elect IEEE UVCE Bangalore, for gracing the occasion. Thank you. Thank you, madam. I express my sincere thanks to Mr. B.S. Bindu Madhava, Chair IEEE and Director CDAC Bangalore, who has guided us. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere thanks to Sri Anandram, MR, Chairman, Naukis College of Engineering, Hassan, who has always been the source of constant support and inspiration to all of us. Thank you, sir. I sincerely thank our respected Director Technical, Dr. Mg Vintage Muffi, Naukis College of Engineering, Hassan. He is our sir. He is guiding us in all our every minute to minute basis with his 5 decades of experience in the technical education field. Also chaired the valedictory function. Thank you very much, sir. I express my gratitude to Dr. Bindu A. Thomas, General Chair, MysuruCon, and to make this event and choosing our institution. And it is a memorable event for us, and it's an event which is a memorable one. Thank you, Bindu Thomas. I am very much indebted to Dr. Parameshachari, BD, General Chair, MysuruCon, for his untiring and unconditional support in all our activities from the day one to this end of the session almost. Congratulations to all the best paper awardees. Thanks for being the part of this event. I also thank all the paper presenters for being part of this great event. I am now the time to thank our session chairs. Quickly, I'll go through the list. Dr. K.C. Ravishankar, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Government Engineering College, Muslim Hassan. Dr. C. Gururaj, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore. Dr. C.G. Raghavendra, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, MSRIT, Bangalore. Dr. Shiv Prakasha K.S., Professor, Department of E&CE, NMAMIT, Nittai Udupi District. Dr. Srikanth P.C., Professor, Department of ECE, Malnad College of Engineering, Hassan. Dr. Shivkumar M., Principal, GSSI ETW, Mysuru. Dr. Santosh KV, Associate Professor, Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering, Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal. Dr. Sudarshan Patil Kulkarni, Professor, Department of ECE, JSS Science and Technology, University, Mysuru. Dr. Rajendra R. Patil, Professor and Head, Department of ECE, GSSI Institute of Engineering and Technology for Women, Mysuru. Dr. Shivkumar Ji, Professor and Head, Department of E&I Engineering, Dean Research and Development, Malnad College of Engineering, Hassan. Dr. Annapurna P. Patil, Professor, Department of CSE, Ramaya Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Dr. Arvind B.N., Professor and Head, Department of ECE, Rajiv Institute of Technology. Dr. Mallikarjun S. Soli, Principal, University BDT College of Engineering, Davangere. Finally, Dr. H.V. Ramakrishna, Professor and Head, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Naukis College of Engineering. They have done an excellent work in evaluating paper presentation and sharing their knowledge with the budding research scholars. Thanking you, sirs. I express my gratitude to all the session coordinators who have toiled hard in getting all the sessions gone in time and properly in well-organized way. And once again, I thank Parameshachari, Deepak, HA, Mr. Deepak R of our college, and all other coordinators who has worked hard from last week to have this successful event to be conducted. Thank you again, and who have joined online. I sincerely thank all the authors, co-authors, research scholars for their sincere support and cooperation, starting from submission of papers to the paper presentation in the end. I extend my sincere gratitude to IEEE ExeCom members, members of various committees, student coordinators, office staff, faculty members who have supported us for organizing this event at our college. I also thank Mr. Vishwanath. I thank Dr. A.N. Maina, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering, Nowcase College of Engineering, Hassan, for her untiring effort and support throughout. I also thank Anagapi for her devotional song presented on Goddess Saraswati. I thank all the student volunteers for their hard work and participation. Before closing down the curtain to MysuruCon 2021, first flagship conference of Mysuru subsection, I thank all those who have supported us right from choosing our institution to host the conference to guide us in conducting this in a befitting manner and in a seamless way. And I'm very thankful to all. I am indebted to all. Thank you, one and all. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thanks to you, sir. You have been a wonderful organizing chair for this great conference that we conducted. You're on the ExeCom of IEEE Mysore subsection. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you for all that you have done to make this event a grand success. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mohan sir, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I thank all the coordinators.
Yeah.
And
Each and
Deepak,
everyone.
Maina madam, two Deepaks, and other volunteers of Manukis College of Engineering. They have supported us a lot for organizing this conference. It was very nice and it was very great show yesterday. It was inauguration went well. Thank you for all your support, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we'll call it a day. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
This is Rani R and Bandhavya GB signing off as the masters of ceremony. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful and fun-filled evening.
Thank you, Rani and Bandhavya. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. I just want to ask the last single question, right? I would like to read the papers which have been selected for the base paper award, especially the paper for the chatbot for English learning. So can I get the paper or having any link so to read that?
No. It is not now.
Okay.
After publication, you may collect. Now you cannot able to give now.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. Bye bye. We'll stop the meeting.
Patience.
Changappa sir, we can stop now. Changappa sir, are you there?
Leave meeting.
Yeah.